Not sure what it's like on the other side. Maybe there is a little slope and he can climb in and out. Alrighty, crocodiles can stay on land for as long as they want, really. There's no time frame for a crocodile to stay on land. So yeah, number of hours if they wanted to. It all depends. Oh wow, hang on, there's an elephant that's returned to drink. Look at that. Okay, well, it's all happening at the waterhole today. We haven't had to move much at all. That's fantastic. It makes such a change for us. Maybe it's the luck that James has brought back. James is driving through the Mara, so maybe he sent me some luck and things are happening for us now this side. Otherwise he'd definitely tease me and mock me. So thank goodness I don't have to deal with James's abuse just yet, because we are finding animals for you, so he won't shout at me, thank goodness. It's good to have good old James back, and I see he's sporting a new hat, or from what I hear, he's sporting a new hat, so apparently it looks like Crocodile Dundee of the Masai Mara. There's wonderful light on that elephant now. Really very, very beautiful time of the afternoon. So Riti, as I was saying, these crocodiles can stay on land for quite a number of time. They'll move from one waterhole to the other quite regularly. It all depends on the time of year. Maybe from this waterhole down to the river, if they're looking to mate, perhaps find other crocodiles. So they do move around from time to time. Mainly at night, though. Mainly at night, not really during the day. And elephant enjoying the water. Oh, that is a beautiful view. Isn't it so calming just to sit at the water's edge like this and gaze out? Hippo just constantly snorting in front of us, blowing the water with their nostrils. I don't know, it sounds like Ellie has found a hippo of her own. Let's go and have a look. I might sit here a little bit longer, seeing as my favorite animal has joined us.
Byron, I think you're right. It is quite a calming experience just to be close to the water. I mean, look how happy this hippo looks. Not a worry in the world. So I was very happy to see that he's still around, because not too many creatures on the road here. But at least we do know that a good loyal hippo can always, or can still be found around Bushbaby Dam, the king of the water. A king that's not too worried about fighting or anything at the moment. Look how wonderful it looks. Isn't this like the perfect afternoon? Oh, I so wish I could be a hippo in another life. Look at this. All of this for him to enjoy. We have been seeing another, or before I went on leave, we were seeing a few hippos, or a few more hippos besides this big bull that we normally see, but there are no traces of them around here, so I wonder if perhaps they haven't joined the other ones all the way at Chitwa Dam, and they've decided that they needed a bit of a bigger space. So I'm sorry, boy, but maybe the girls don't like you anymore. I don't think he's too worried about it, to be honest. Oh my goodness, you can barely stay away, can you? So have a look at all the little hairs that we see all around him. Like now that he's facing us, you see all around his nose and his mouth, the same as the elephant. Lots of them around the ears, and then of course some of them around the eyes, just to protect those very sensitive areas around their face. I love it when they're so sleepy. It's wonderful. It's like it's like they can't carry on with life. It's too hard. It's too hard to do anything. But I'm sure likely he's tired, because now they start looking for food and they have to start walking further and further away to try and sustain their weight and eat as much as they need to. Alright, I see that Byron has won the hippo challenge of the day, so let's go back to him, and I think he's got another monitor lizard, or perhaps the same.
Now this looks like a different monitor lizard, but have a look here. These two water thickney were chasing this monitor lizard. It's just gone off the edge over there. There's a water thickney to the left, and they had their wings open and they were chasing this monitor, so they obviously don't want him close by in case they've got a nest. I'm not sure if they do. They're ground nesting birds, but that would be one of their predators, the monitor lizard. But these two adult thickneys just went and chased that monitor lizard. That's quite interesting. They're running back to us. Well, that monitor lizard has moved off. Happened very quickly. I see they're not interested in chasing the crocodile. Crocodile probably doesn't pose a threat to them though. There's the other thickney just at the top there. Beautiful birds. And you see the large eyes. Now they are generally nocturnal. They do move around a bit during the day, but generally these thickneys are also nocturnal birds. So large eyes, and they're mostly active at night. But they'll just sit around the water's edge during the day resting, and then start moving around looking for food at night. See, there we go. Taking a seat. It's interesting, sitting on its legs. And let's see, that monitor lizard's moved off. You can feel the temperature starting to drop now a little bit. As the sun is starting to set behind us, the elephant has just decided to move off. I wonder if we're lucky, if he'll decide to come and walk past us. That would be wonderful. I'm hoping. Let's see, if we send out positive energy, maybe he'll decide to come and walk past us. There he comes. Oh, isn't that beautiful? This is really, really fantastic. I'm enjoying this so much. And just sitting and enjoying everything happening around us. It just shows you. If you spend time around these water holes, things will start happening, especially in the dry winter months. On a warm day, the animals do come down to drink, get a lot more activity from them. I love how the light is catching the tusk of that elephant. It's almost glistening in the light. Mauritia, now, that's very interesting. I've never heard of that. You say you saw a documentary of the crocodiles and the thickneys working together to warn off predators from a nest, but I'll have to look for that. That's intrigued me now. I've never heard of that before. I'm just trying to think, Mauricio, what I wonder if it's a case of the Thicknees perhaps putting their nests close to an area where crocodiles would bask in the sun. Maybe that will prevent other predators coming into the area, so the crocodile's not necessarily choosing to have a symbiotic relationship with the actual Thicknee, but more the Thicknee choosing. And there's a black crake. Sorry, I've just noticed that now. Beautiful black crake walking on the edge of that little bank. Those are all water Thicknees. So I wonder if it's not the Thicknees choosing to rather go and nest close to the crocodiles for safety, as opposed to the crocodiles working with the Thicknees. I don't know. That's very interesting. Maybe you can send us a link, or if you know what that documentary was. I'm very curious now, because I've never heard of that before. As I said, there's a lot going on. Now have a look here quickly. I'm going to turn around. Sorry, Ferg's making you turn around quite a bit. Yeah. Fergs is doing all the work this afternoon. I'm just sitting talking. Now, just behind us in that golden light, some more Nyala. But have a look, there are two males sparring. Here we go. Oh, now they just got camera shy.
Oh, what?
Look, no, that's not a... Oh, I don't know, maybe just testing one another. As I said, I've seen a Nyala fighting properly, and it's quite astounding at how powerful they are. But look at this, locking horns. That's amazing. Also another wonderful shot. Beautiful golden light, the dust, the two dominant male Nyala locking horns. Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, this has been a great afternoon for us. Been a lot going on. Look how muscular they are. Every now and then you see the muscles tensing in both antelope. Oh, look at that. Wow, it's got him right around the neck. This is really amazing. Look at that. I can hear just they're quite far from us, but I can still hear the horns clashing. It's amazing how they just decide, right, well, that's one round. Let's have a little break and see if we go at it again. I'm just smelling the air, because I think I can get a whiff of that elephant. I wonder if he isn't in must. I'm getting a musty smell coming this way. Wow. And again, there they go, struggling, fighting one another. The one keeps managing to lock its horn under the throat of the other one. I would imagine those horns could do some serious damage at the right angle. You see again, then they'll stop, look around. Are they still safe? They are out in a clearing, so we'll see if anything does decide to attack them, because often when animals are fighting like this, they are vulnerable to predators. Predators will hear the noise or the commotion and come and investigate, and it'll be easier for them to sneak up on them. because they are so busy fighting. That often happens with impala during the ratting season. The males are so busy fighting and chasing one another, they forget to look out for predators. And the next thing, they then decide, or they then fall prey to the leopards or lions.
It's like when you get two jelly beans stuck together.
No, Holly, now I didn't see these two in Nyala even try and dance. They do that little display dance that they do. I think they just went straight into a bit of a tussle. But again, it doesn't look like a serious fight. Well, there's a female just dancing off to the side. It doesn't look like a serious fight. A serious fight, I've seen them, they literally almost raise up. Oh, a male chasing the female. It's all happening here at the moment. And our other friend is going to be joining us shortly. Our big elephant. He has decided to walk over. So here he comes in the golden light. No, it doesn't look like he's in must. I don't see any sweat from the temporal glands or between his legs. It's a beautiful male though. Let's see if we can hear him walk past. There's that young hippo who's actually watching this big elephant. Look at that, they're all watching him walk past. Oh, that's great. This is really wonderful. Now this scene with that elephant and the reflection of the water. There's that beautiful Chitwa camp behind it. Have a look here, this young hippo just on the water's edge is coming to investigate, it looks like. Let's see what it's doing. It's almost running after. Look there he goes. Oh, it just went down. I wonder if it was just investigating this elephant and trying to see what the elephant was doing here. I wonder if it decides to come out. Huh? Head popped back up, just having a look. This is really amazing. I hope all of you are enjoying this as much as we are.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey Fergs, isn't this great?
Amazing.
This has really been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon for us. I think our luck has changed.
Must have been that lucky dance we did before we went out.
A lucky dance. Oh, it was our lucky dance.
And our war dance.
Fergus was doing a war dance in his room. Now it sounds like Crocodile Dundee has found a sleepy cat in the Mara. Let's go and have a look.
Asked for a link. Linking. Hello everybody. Again, sorry we have had a couple of technical glitches since I last saw you. Otherwise I rather hope you would have seen me before now. Anyway, my hat is still in place. Yes, and we are now looking at the lions, which are over there. Who these lions are? Probably the Angama pride, I'm told reliably by David, who is of course on camera. David, how sure are you that this is the Angama pride? About 80% sure. Good. Well, that's probably about as sure as you'll get out here, because nobody seems to know exactly what's going on with the lions. And of course that's where you are going to come in, helping us sort out exactly what is happening with what lions and where they live, who makes them up, and perhaps, and I suspect this quite strongly, we are going to come across a sort of situation where we might in some ways redefine lion sociality as the migration comes. We're here at the perfect time before the great migration arrives, and I think perhaps that has given us an opportunity to see these prides at their most stable. And then when the great herds come through here, or digital cub, I think what you will find is that the dynamics will change. How they're going to change and in what way, well, that remains to be seen. Then there's another little one, Davy. You can just see its head stuck out the edge of the grass there. If you go just a little bit to the right of where you are now. There it is. It's just put it down now, of course, naturally. Just in there, and the whole pride seems to be scattered along this sort of ravine or erosion donga, as we call them. I quite like the word donga, don't you, David?
It's a lugger.
It's a lugger here, is it?
It's called a lugger.
Oh, dear, so we can't call it a donga, you mean? So, the entire pride seems to be sort of draped along the sides of this deep lugger or ravine. I'm going to sneak slightly forward. My Swahili ain't so fly at the moment, and I just got berated by one of the guides from this area who came past here and spoke to me in Kiswahili, and I stared at him as though he had stepped from a piece of Swiss cheese, at which point he got very upset and asked me how on earth I could be here and not speak Kiswahili. When I told him I'd arrived yesterday, he didn't seem to be in the slightest bit mollified, which was most disappointing. So he then taught me 2 words which I promptly forgot, because my pen didn't work, believe it or not, but I'm going to write them all down, and hopefully by the end of this I will have some smattering of Swahili. There they are, doing, of course, as we know, what lions do very best in the world, nothing. Now we have about 30 minutes left before we have to skedaddle back up the hill, and we are going to be doing some night tests, so we've got a little bit more time out here. I'm going to do a little bit more exploring rather than sit with these flat cats, and while we head off to see what else we can find, Byron is still possibly at Chitwa Dam. I'm not sure. Please would you ask him if he's broken down? He seems to be in there most of the afternoon. He's got now something else there.
Well, our 2 Egyptian geese, James. The elephant was in the shot, and you can just see it moving off into the distance. Now, we haven't broken down, James, believe it or not.
Alright, seems like Byron has been found by the gremlins. I'm sure they couldn't leave him for so long. I mean, it's been a wonderful afternoon enjoying Chitwa and the lions all the way from the Mara. We are still in our mission. I don't think we've been too particularly lucky on the roads that we have chosen, but we are slowly coming into what I hope is going to be a wonderful sunset. So I see the sun is starting to go down, and then if we use this old trick, I reckon in the next 10-20 minutes or so, it's gonna come down. And if you wonder what the hell I'm doing, normally if you look at the sun and the horizon, and this is a very bad trick, but it seems to kind of work for me sometimes, if you put your fingers underneath the sun, and then depending on how many fingers you can put in, so 1 finger is in about maybe 10 minutes the sun will go down, so I reckon about 10 minutes. If I could fit 2, then 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So it's one of those things that we use as guys when you start measuring how long until you stop for drinks, because you want to be able to enjoy the sunset with a gin tonic in your hands, or maybe a Coke. So it's a good way of finding out how much time you've got before you decide to stop. So I'm hoping as we go up all the way on the other side that we'll be able to find a nice spot where we can see the sunset. Because this morning the clouds are very pretty. Luckily I don't see any clouds in sight today, or on site at this afternoon, because in the morning we did have a few and they were of a beautiful pinkish color. So look at that beautiful sky, nothing standing in between us and the fading sun. I wonder if I'm actually going to miss the sun. Seems like it's going down pretty quickly, and I think also the fact that we've just gone down and now we're going up, maybe that will help us. But alright, already put my first layer on. It is getting a bit chilly now. Around about 4:35, once the sun starts going down, or once it's not shining as bright, then there's this sudden drop in temperature, and then, you know, all the jerseys and scarves and gloves and everything else starts coming out. Although it's been quite a warm day today, but we'll see. So, news from this side of the road, which is Buffelshoek. Apparently they only found the lion cubs, 6 lion cubs, so I'm pretty sure those are the Nkuhumas, and they didn't find the adults, or the adults are nowhere to be found. So I wonder if perhaps they haven't gone out hunting and they left the youngsters behind. Although I do think the last few times that we've seen them hunting, they've gone around with the young ones, but it could be. I mean, lions have a funny way of doing their own thing and very unexpected things every now and again, so hopefully they'll be able to provide for their youngsters tonight. But if not, we'll carry on seeing. Also, they managed to find Mvula, so that was correct, like we were saying at the beginning of the drive, and he seemed to have quite a full tummy, so it seems like he's been keeping well too, which is wonderful. We always want them all to do quite well. Ah, we are coming into the sun. Yes, good. I like it. Maybe that's what we should do, is try to find a beautiful sunset. I wonder what photos we're going to get from James Henry now in the Mara, those beautiful sunset photos. I wonder if he might actually take his first one today. I'm sure, well, pretty sure that we all want to see what sunsets he manages to capture all the way over there. I think there is a very dusty vehicle coming our way. Okie dokie. Shall carry on looking for other things. Who knows, maybe we'll swing past Sydney's Dam, see if perhaps Nyala hasn't decided to return and come all the way back. Because I think we've been finding tracks of an unknown female, a small female all around that area, so it's potentially, it is Nyala that she's just been all over and moving around that area and coming in and out. But because she's not so relaxed, I'm sure it's a bit harder to find her. Hello! Alright, not too much dust. I think this was fine. This time of the year, you'll see often in many lodges, the guides and the trackers, we start wearing see-through goggles, just because the dust gets a bit too much as we go into the dry season, particularly into July and August. And then you'll feel like you're driving and your eyes are full of sand. Alright, I think maybe we will have enough time to carry on looking for a better spot for the sunset. But I'm gonna carry on driving west into the sunlight because it's beautiful and it makes my heart feel very warm and fuzzy what? Very fuzzy inside. Couldn't even think. Whee! Alright. Come on, little dikers. Charlie, you're wondering what my favorite animal is out in the bush. Well, my favorite animals are rhinos, and it's because I was involved in the raising or the looking after 2 of them, a white rhino and a black rhino. I looked after the white rhino for longer and had quite a big responsibility. I even slept with it. So that's pretty much, I find them to be incredibly special creatures and I absolutely adore them. So rhinos are the ones, and I think roaring lions come very close second, and tiny leopard cubs, and lion cubs, I don't know, I can't decide who takes the second place. Elephants also, I adore them, so it's hard. So this is where we had Nyala this morning, the area where she left, and she carried on walking straight in that direction towards the Manyaleti. So I don't think she's been around here. Maybe she just carried on moving around and missioning somewhere else. Because there were some impala around this area, so I'm sure she was just busy on the hunt looking for other things. But oh well. Let's carry on. I want to see if maybe we go past the gate, check for that male lion that was spotted this morning, see if maybe he's decided to start moving around. I would really like him to. But he's not too far from the boundary, just maybe 50-60 meters or so, if he is at the pan where they had him this morning. So let's see. let's see. Oof, getting quite chilly now. You see, as soon as the sun is not shining, very, very cold. Let's go down here. Kestrel Fox, you're saying that I was a rhino nanny. Yes, I was. I was indeed a rhino mummy. Mummy nanny. Yeah, those were some of the best days of my life. Definitely life-changing, and that's the reason why I decided to move to South Africa and live here. Just because I loved rhinos so much, I didn't want to go back to a country without rhinos. And I've been lucky enough since then. And I know now we've started seeing them up in the Mara, which is fantastic, some of the black rhinos. So I'm sure those sightings are going to be very precious. And I've seen some of the screenshots and they just look fantastic. They look stunning. So I'm very happy that at least we can explore the wilderness up there and just get to know their behavior a little bit better. Alright, we're not far from the main gate or the main entrance to the Sabi Sand. Now I just want to see if maybe we can see a bit of the sun coming down before we start looking for any possible tracks for this male lion, as the sun is almost down. And it's looking very pretty in between those trees, a typical African sunset. Today I don't think this is an acacia, I think it's, what are you over there? Can't see now, it seems like it's an apple leaf or a cassia, a long-tailed cassia. But almost like a little hat for the sun that's coming down. And like I said, maybe 5 minutes or so and the sun will go down according to my very non-reliable method. Oh, beautiful sunset, isn't it? Very peaceful. There's something about these orange colors. Alright, I'm not going to stay here the 5 minutes until the sun goes down, because we've got furrier creatures to look for, but I think it's always wonderful just to stop and appreciate the sunset for a little bit. I mean, look how beautiful that road looks. So, onwards and forwards we go. This is the main road. So, we want to see if perhaps there has been any lions walking around here. I hear some vehicles in the distance, so hopefully it means that the lion is coming up here. Or who knows, maybe even the wild dogs. That would be just fantastic if we had the wild dogs crossing on Animals Rights Awareness Week. But who knows, I know animals like to scramble things up, so I'm sure we're going to see them all, but all in the wrong days. Just because they have to prove to us that they're untamed, wonderfully wild creatures. Now, One-Eye Pan, where are you? You're further down the road. Don't see any tracks on the side of the road. Oh, wonderful. Come, lions. Maybe I should start trying to practice my lion calls. I think, although I sound a bit more like a buffalo dying than an actual lion. Alright. Everything's slowly starting to come into those that beautiful, like, afternoon glow where everything just starts becoming a bit more orangey and pinky and pretty. Still a bit for the sun to go down. So I'm hoping maybe we'll see something here. Running impalas in the distance. Very bouncy main road. It seems like Byron has managed to find not only signal but a perfect view of the sunset, so let's go over to him and see how the sunset looks from where he stands.
And I'm just driving very slowly. Fergus and I are trying an artistic shot of the sunset. I'm going to reposition for us just on the other side. We're just on Gowrie Main, so we don't want the electrical lines in the way. We're going to get rid of those shortly, and we'll appreciate the beautiful sunset. Wonderful, wonderful light at the moment, and just that red fireball in the sky. Sorry.
You're making us a challenge.
I'm challenging Fergus this afternoon. He actually said to me before drive, he said, Byron, you know what? I'd like a challenge. So there we go, Fergus. How's that? Let me know. Is that nice? Maybe a bit of a silhouette of that big tree. There's a dead tree just in front of it too. Look at that. Lovely. And a grey go-away bird. Go away. There it goes. Yeah, I see. Everyone's taking me literally nowadays. Well, I've really enjoyed this afternoon. It's been very relaxing. And look how quickly that sun drops. It's really amazing. When you see it against something, so like, with that tree in the sky and then the horizon, you can see how quickly it starts dropping. Now, we'll watch the sunrise for a little bit longer. Let's head to Crocodile Dundee in the morrow with some beef.
Hello everybody, here we are again. I keep saying hello to you, I'm sorry about that. It's just that I'm so overwhelmingly excited. We're sitting here with a herd of beefaloes, and the beefaloes, as you can see, are, well, sort of marching gently to the west underneath a burgeoning storm that seems to be coming in from the east. Isn't that pretty? I think it's absolutely magnificent. And I know that Ali was showing you the sunset, and I thought I might take my first illegal picture of a sunset today. So what I will do is say, look over there. What do you see, David?
Oh, it's the sun.
It's rather bright though, isn't it?
Very bright.
So bright. It's so bright that I don't know that even I would be able to take an illegal picture of it. Yes, it is rather too bright at the moment. We'll keep looking at it though, in the hopes that it gets slightly less bright, which it obviously will as it dips below the Oululolo escarpment. In the meantime, let us enjoy the beefaloes, which are now starting to sort of bathe in its glory, completely unaware, of course, that the lions are not too far behind. They haven't got up. They were still lying down when we left them. And I don't know if that was the whole pride, because there were rumours that the pride was in fact stalking this herd of buffalo a little bit earlier on. And so it could be that there are members of the pride rather closer to the herd than they would be comfortable with. But I think that the little baby I saw earlier is the one that will be in the most trouble should the lions come up towards us here. Now, we are not far at all from the camp. Oh dear, David, do you think that seems to have found a termite mound on which to scratch a rather awkwardly positioned itch? Fascinating. Good, well, lots to eat here for the buffalo, of course, especially while the well, I suppose more favoured, if we dare we say it, more favoured figures that are, of course, the wildebeest before they arrive back, which will not be in too long from now, that the wildebeest will be coming up this way and taking all that is good to eat, and, of course, taking the attention of the predators, which I think will be a great relief to all concerned. Well, all buffalo concerned, that is. And they're all just slightly suspicious of us. There does seem to be a little bit of a breeze blowing down towards them. And so they are all just slightly suspicious of what we want. And I must say, as Steph said to me, just before I got here, he said, "You won't believe how bright the sun is here." Right, so I think we're sticking with me. I think we're still live. Are we still live, Megzy? No, we are still live. That is excellent. Steph was saying the sun is so much brighter here, and I think it's A, because of the altitude, and B, because, of course, we're so much closer to the equator. But it is quite amazing how bright that sun was, despite the fact that it's about to go down. And if you watch that buffalo, or if we look at the one over there, if you don't mind, Darby, and you're actually going to see the sun disappear off its back. Further to the right, that one there, you're just going to see the sun disappear off its back. And in fact, that's the only way to watch the sunset today, because it is so startlingly bright from actually looking at the sun. It's quite nice, isn't it, David? Yes, quite artistic, I feel. But you'll see it falling into shadow almost immediately. Certainly within the next 2 minutes, that buffalo is going to be in shadow. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, Holly. You're wondering about the buffalo and the Mara and whether they're similar to the ones in Djuma. They're exactly the same species. You might find some vague genetic difference, but I don't think it'll be particularly substantial. And for all intents and purposes, yes, they are exactly the same as the ones in the Mara and a Djuma. Am I making sense? I think I am. Right, well, the sun seems to have gone now, as you can see, and we'll just quickly show you the horizon over which it's sunk. But it is so bright. Hello, William, aged 8, all the way from Oregon. You say, the Mara looks kind of like where you live, and do I like it here? William, aged 8, all the way from Oregon. I imagine that there are slightly fewer trees than there are in Oregon, and I imagine also that there is a lot less rain. But I suppose you must have grasslands like this. Unfortunately, you don't have these sorts of animals, but you used to have, obviously, thousands and thousands of the American bison, or buffalo there, and various things that used to eat them, wolves and that sort of thing. And William, your second question is, yes, I do like it here very much. It's a spectacular place to be. There's a bull showing that he's big and tough and strong and virile, or running away from another one, can't really tell. But it is just amazing, William. You know, I don't know what it's... I've never been to Oregon. I'm just talking about the little bits that I've been told about it. But it is amazing here, William. I don't know if it's the same as where you are, but everywhere you look here in the Mara, something amazing is happening, even if it's just a view. And in fact, what I will do is just ask David, in the woodland over there, in fact it's pretty much a forest actually, there are 2 chestnut shapes. Can you see them there? 3 or 4 in fact, and I think they are indeed impala. Can you believe it? Forest-dwelling impala. Now, I am being slightly sarcastic, of course. They are standard issue East African impala. But there they are, living in a riverine forest. I mean, just look at those trees. I'm sad we won't be able to do too much walking in amongst those trees, but we will certainly get in amongst them as much as we possibly can. How much time have we got left? Oh, we're going to have to move, Megsy, I'm afraid. You can stay with us while we drive, but we are going to have to move up towards home, because we'd have to be out of here by 6:30. We will, of course, be doing quite a lot of night stuff in the coming months, so it won't always be that we have to race out by 6:30. So we'll just see what happens going forward. Well, we've now got 17 minutes, and Darby, I don't know if you can, is the roof going to get in the way? We've basically got to climb to just to the right hand side of where you've just seen the sun go down. So we're going to climb up to that part. We're going to go through this herd of beefies. Hello, do you like my hat? Not very much, clearly. Sorry about that. Sorry to disturb you. Lions just that way, coming this way. Be careful, will you? Good. Just spectacular. Some zebra up ahead. And all sorts of other things here. Now I think we're going to head across to Ali, who has a impala, but not one living in a forest.
Well, we did, but I think maybe the girls are a bit heartbroken that James gone all the way to the Mara and they've gone back into the thickets. So, look at this beautiful sunset instead. All those wonderful colors at the back, and then, of course, a beautiful dead tree. In this case, an old knobthorn. Still standing around there, and just that palette of colors at the back. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Coming back to us. They've got a problem. Right, sorry about that everybody, I'm not sure what happened. We're very happy to take you on our journey up the hill. And did we show you the elephants? No, we were going to show you the elephants earlier on, but we didn't show them to you. Did we have a quick look? Yeah. Was it not just you and I that had a quick look? It was everybody. Okay. There they are. They've gone all the way across the valley. I'll just quickly stop up here. Oh, we're going to go to a school drive, David. We go quickly across to the names. Hello everybody on the school drive for Bailey Elementary, Mains Elementary and Lansford Elementary? Yes, I've got I'm sorry everyone. Okay, doesn't matter. Welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us. We are coming to you from the Masai Mara. Just a couple of difficulties with my hearing the director, who's going to give me a box about the ears when we get home. But here we are. For the next 45 minutes you're going to be having a spectacular school time safari here from the East Africa. That's where we are, in Kenya and the Mara, and then also from the Sabi Sand. I'm going to hand you over to them fairly soon, in South Africa. So these are zebra, obviously, and they're called plains zebra. And it's just about to get dark here, and so they're quite nervous because, of course, when darkness falls in Africa, that's when the hyenas and the lions start to wake up and go hunting. Now, quickly, we can show you some elephants in the background there. That's quite spectacular. Hello Connor, you say are there any poisonous animals here? Well, yes, there are not really poisonous ones. There are many venomous ones. Venomous ones are things like snakes and scorpions and centipedes, which can give you a bite or a sting that will cause some kind of discomfort. So yes, there are many of those, many snakes out here, many scorpions, many spiders, many centipedes, but mostly humans are completely unaffected by them. Here we have some more zebra, and then what I'm going to ask David to do is to go the other way, if you don't mind, David, because we've got some topi. That's a very special antelope. Now, everything we've showed you except this topi are found in South Africa in one way or another, but this topi is something that you will not see in the Sabi sands of South Africa. And you will go across there shortly. But for now we're going to stay here in East Africa, and then I'm going to ask David to just show you a big tree next to that. I think it's a shepherd's tree or a Baronites aegyptica. And there it is there, and beyond the tree, of course, the great wonder of the East African plains. There you go. can see there a big rainstorm coming in, which is quite exciting. In Africa we love to get rain. It's really important. We don't get it nearly as much as in other parts of the world, and I know that there has been a dreadful drought in this area for some time, and I think broke recently, but we can always do with more rain here. Isn't that pretty? You can see just the last rays of the sun starting to disappear. Now because of that we're going to have to move, and so you can stay with us, but we're going to move with you. We have to get up onto the top of the mountain before the darkness falls. Past the topi and the zebra, and we've got some impala. We'll just give you a brief view of them as we try and drive smoothly by. Sorry, Darby. We just need to keep moving because we have to be up at the top of the hill in the next few minutes. And a lovely zebra. And you can ask as many questions as you like. I forgot to tell you that. Any questions you like, you just send them through to your teacher. She will then send them through to us, and we will do our very best to answer them. I'm not the only one out, like I said, in South Africa. We've got Byron. He's been with elephants and monitor lizards and all sorts of things like that today. Ellie has also had elephants. She's actually been digging in the sand. I don't think she's going to do that for you this afternoon, because of course we do, well, you don't want to be digging in the dark. I missed that. Was that a communication? Megan? Megan is directing, by the way. Nope. Alright everybody, we're going to say goodbye to you. I'm not sure if we'll see you again. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the school drive with Ali and Byron in the Sabi Sands.
Welcome to the Sabi Sand, guys. We're very happy to have all of the 3 schools on our drive today. It is getting a bit warmer as the sun starts going down, but hopefully we'll be able to see some of the nocturnal creatures. My name is Ali, and on camera with me today is Seb, and we're very excited to try and show you some of the smaller animals in the Sabi Sand, and who knows, maybe some of the bigger ones. Now, if you're wondering what the Sabi Sands is, well, it's a very big game reserve, or a very big reserve where lots of animals roam free, and we are in South Africa, close to the Kruger National Park. My favorite place on earth. Right, so we've been looking for all sorts of animals this afternoon, and so far it's been good, but now that it's starting to get a bit cooler, it seems like some of them have starting to choose spots where to go and sleep in. A lot of the impala are going underneath the trees, just wherever they think it's a bit warmer. Because they don't have, you know, jackets and jerseys like what we do, so they've got to use their natural environment and everything that's around them, everything they can find in nature, to keep themselves warm. So who knows, maybe we'll be able to see lots of tiny little things today. Let's turn around on this road. Whoop. We'll see what else is around over here. Hopefully lots of little things. I am hoping we'll be able to see maybe a porcupine. That'll be quite cool. They get very big in this area. Sometimes, you know, about this big in this stall. So very, very big. Bigger than a small dog or a medium-sized dog. Definitely bigger than a Jack Russell. And probably just as fierce, because they fight off lions and leopards, the porcupines. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky with a porcupine with a chameleon. That'll be quite exciting. And only to start again tomorrow. And it's going to be quite a cold night tonight, I think. Liana, you wonder where we start to look for animals? Well, pretty much anywhere. So you just pretty much go out of the lodge or where the camp where you stay in, and you choose a road, and that's how you start looking for them. You see what's been walking on that road, because the animals here don't have chips or collars. So if you want to try and find them, you have to see in the road ahead of us where they have been walking and in what direction they're going. So if they walk on the road, it's very easy because we can see their tracks very nicely. But if they don't, if they start walking into the bush, then that's when it becomes a bit more difficult. As then sometimes it's not as easy to find them. Gotta work a bit harder then. But we'll see. This road that I'm taking on, this morning there were lots of lion tracks. Unfortunately, other cars have driven on top of them, so we can't see them anymore because it's almost like they've erased them. But this was the same road that a lion was walking in this morning, around 4 o'clock in the morning, very early during the night. And then he did a big turn and carried on. Alia, you're wondering if animals come up to us when we're in the truck. Yes, they do. I think elephants are maybe some of the ones that are the most curious, that they'll actually come if they see us from a distance and come around and see what we are. But having said that, we've had everything around us. So I've had lions and leopards walking right past, I even have no door on my right hand side, so they walk past us, or wild dogs running in front of us, or what else, buffalo. So in this area they know that we don't do anything to them, we don't hurt them, we just see them. So they learn to ignore the car. They come, they say hello, and then they carry on with the rest of their day. And they're not too particularly fussed by us. I think maybe soon enough we'll have to start turning on our lights and see, because I think the sun is going down. Well, the sun has gone down, but the light is starting to fade now. Let's see. My friend Byron really wants to get to know all of you too, and he is also trying to work over his lights, so let's go over to him so that he can say hello.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Byron, and with me on camera is Fergus. And lovely to have all of you with us. I hope you're enjoying our little afternoon or evening or sunset safari. And we are busy looking for a leopard, actually. That's what we're looking for at the moment. And we're going to see if we can find one. Not sure. We've been trying for the last few days. Ellies saw a leopard this morning, so we're going to try to see if we can find one. Now, it's not very, very easy. It's quite difficult because they are quite shy animals. They like to hide away from us. So maybe we'll have some luck this evening with all of you. We had a lovely afternoon. We had some elephant earlier. They've unfortunately moved off, but we saw some elephant earlier, which was nice. See, now, like Ellie was saying, it's getting dark, so it's time for our lights, and we've got these spotlights. This helps us to try and find the animals. Maybe we'll see a little bit of their eye reflection in the light. Makes it a bit easier for us to find them. Let's see. Well, we'll see what else we can find along the way. Now, Zenli, you asked if we see more animals at sunrise and sunset, or was it more animals at sunrise or sunset? Well, the reason why we generally do our safaris in the morning and in the afternoon, sunrise and sunset, is because the animals tend to move around a lot more, especially the predators, like lion and leopard. Now, the reason for that is the temperature is a little bit cooler. It's not as hot as it is during the day, and it gets quite warm during the day here, even in our winter. Even in winter, like now, the temperature has dropped, and I've got my jacket on to stay warm, but it does stay quite warm during the day, and the predators don't like to move around too much in the heat, so they'll rest, they conserve their energy, so they save their energy, and later, when it starts getting cool, like now, this is the time they probably start waking up and start moving around. So that's why we like to come out early in the mornings. Maybe they're still moving around, or round about now, just before it gets very dark, and we'll see if we can't find any of them walking around. Now, Rihanna, animals that hide in trees are basically, well, obviously birds will sleep in the trees and live in the trees, but then also the monkeys, Rihanna. So the monkeys will all sleep in the trees at night. Monkeys and baboons will sleep in the trees, and then during the day they move around and look for food, but at night they'll sleep and hide in the trees. Other animals that like to climb trees are leopards, actually. Leopards like to climb trees and sometimes lie down in trees, but not that often, but they do it from time to time. And the leopards are also very clever. Now, what they do is, if the leopard is hunting and manages to catch something, what the leopards will do is they will take that kill that they've just caught and they will hoist it. So they carry it up into the tree, and they put it into the tree and the branches in the tree, and the reason for that is to keep it out of reach of other predators. So animals like hyena that might try to steal their food, or even lions, they won't be able to get to it if the leopard puts it high up in the tree. I see I'm scanning very, very carefully using my spotlight, trying to see if I can't find any animals. The grass is quite long at the moment, so it can make it a little bit difficult at times. Now my friend Ellie has also got her spotlight out, and she's trying to find some animals too. Let's go see how it's going.
We are indeed also trying to find some animals, Byron, but I think we're looking for something small, like a chameleon or maybe an owl. I would love to see an owl tonight. So we'll see. It's a good chance that we'll be able to see some of them. So fingers crossed. If you guys see anything on their screen, just let us know immediately so that we can stop and maybe double check. Maybe you guys can help us try and find something. Dante, you're wondering why the grass is yellow. Well, the grass is yellow because we are in winter. We are in the dry season. So when it doesn't rain, there isn't as much water. The grass turns yellow. Whereas in summer, when it rains a lot, everything is beautiful and green, and the vegetation or the trees have got big leaves, and everything's just a lot greener in general. So it hasn't rained here since maybe April. So it's been at least 2 months of no rain, so everything's starting to dry. I thought that was a chameleon, but no. Bailey School, you're wondering if it's difficult to drive and talk on a narrow road. Luckily this is quite a simple road, so it doesn't get too tricky on this road, but there are certain roads where I would definitely have to at least put the spotlight down and put it there. And if it gets very complicated, then sometimes we also get a bit distracted and it becomes harder. But on an occasion like today, where we're happily driving on the road looking for different creatures, and it's not too difficult. Not too difficult right now, I think, which is a good thing, because then we're able to look for animals and talk to you guys and use the spotlight at the same time. It's just a bit of practice. Now, there was a little Bushbaby, which is a small little animal that looks like a tiny monkey almost, that used to live around here, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I wonder if perhaps it moved and it's living somewhere else. I think maybe it has gone somewhere else. Alright, let's swap our luck and come onto this road over here. Perhaps maybe we'll see that leopard that Byron was looking for. Maybe we'll hear the lions roaring. I think there was one that was seen not too far, so maybe it'll start calling and just letting us know where it is. That would be fun, wouldn't it? I think it would. Alright. In the meantime, leopards. Lions. Right, we are going to carry on looking around here, and if we see anything we will definitely let you know. But in the meantime, let's go to Byron and see if he's had more luck than us with the spotlight.
Not yet, Ellie. We are looking, trying to find little creatures that we can show all of you, but nothing just yet. And it happens like this sometimes. It's really difficult. You can imagine with these wild animals, you never know where they're going to be, but we try our best and we do find them. It just takes a while. Now, Mason, there are actually lots of animals on a safari or in this area. So this area is a very, very large area, very, very big area. And it's a completely open game reserve. So it's not like an animal park or anything. It's very, very big, very wide, very open. And the animals can move wherever they want. So within this area, there are literally thousands of animals spread out all over, ranging from different antelope like the impala or the kudu, or there's lots of them. Wildebeest, there's also zebra, there's giraffe, there's elephant, there's buffalo, lions, leopards, hippopotamus. There's so many different animals. So there are lots and lots of animals. I can't tell you exactly how many because there are so many. I haven't shine the spotlight. Also,
oh, sorry guys, seems like Byron is having a bit of issues with the internet signal, or you know, with the horrible gremlins that are around here, but don't you worry, I'm sure he's fighting them off and he'll be able to come and help us look for nocturnal creatures with the spotlights in a little bit. We haven't had too much luck. I'm still hoping to see maybe a porcupine or just pretty much anything, to be honest. But it seems like everything's still hiding, still a bit nervous. But what do you guys would like to see? Maybe we can try and make an effort to try and find them for you. James, you're wondering if lions are hard to find. Well, yes, they can be quite hard to find. The problem is that sometimes the animals go into places where we cannot follow them with the car, so it makes it quite hard for us to drive in there. So we'll know where we are, but we can't see them because we can't get in there. And you know, they are used to the cars and people in the cars, but they're not used to people walking, so we don't really want to walk into them. But I would say maybe harder than a lion. Leopards are harder to find because they are smaller and they're normally just one, whereas lions, they live in big families. So I think maybe lions can be sometimes a little bit easier to find. Not always though. No chameleons here. Rihanna, you're wondering if chameleons camouflage with everything. Well, the chameleons that we have in this area, or the chameleons in general around the world, they can only camouflage with the colors that are in their environment. So in this particular area, we only have one species of chameleon, and that species can only turn into colors of green, brown, gray, well, black or white. And the reason for it is because they normally will find them on the tree. So those colors that I just mentioned, those are the ones that we find on the trees. So they just want to pretend that they're part of the tree in a way of camouflaging a bit better. But if you put something purple behind them, the chameleons over here, they will not turn purple. Only white or green or brown. Maybe a honey badger. Honey badger would be good. I'd love to see a honey badger. Jenny, you're wondering who the king of the safari is. Well, I think we've got lots of kings, every animal in their own family group. But I think in general, I'm sure you've heard about the king of the jungle. A lot of people say that the lions are the kings because they are the strongest predators around here. And in some areas, they eat big animals like elephants. But I think elephants are also kings because they're very big. But maybe if we just go according to what everybody says in the world and according to their reputation, I think lions definitely live up to it. They are the kings and queens of the savannah. Everybody makes way when they come around. So, I mean, you can imagine, you don't really want to bump into a lion when you're walking, do you? That'll be a bit scary. Now, this seems like a good area for chameleons. Lots of trees around me. Well, I can't see any of them. See, as it starts getting colder, then it becomes a bit more difficult to see them. So we don't spot them as easy as we do sometimes during the summertime. It seems like Byron has managed to find a beautiful sky. So let's go over to him so that you can see what the sky in South Africa looks like.
I have indeed, Ellie, and what I wanted to show you were the beautiful colours that we have at night. It's getting darker, but there's still a wonderful glow from the sunset that we had this afternoon, and that's the joy of Africa. And obviously it's wonderful to find the animals, but also to appreciate some of the beauty, the wonderful colours, the wonderful sky in Africa. And that's what we are looking at the moment. But I'm going to still try and find some little animals for you. Hopefully before the show ends, we will continue and search very, very hard for all of you, so we can find something. Like Ellie said, she's looking for a chameleon. Now that's sometimes difficult to find, because they blend in so well with the green trees or the branches or the leaves. So we will try. Let's see. Lego now. Chameleons eat insects. That's mainly what they eat. So it's amazing what they do. They'll sit on a branch and they'll sit very, very still, and they'll wait for an insect to land on the branch, and then they shoot their tongue out. They'll shoot their tongue out very quickly, quicker than we blink our eyes. So you can imagine, they shoot their tongue out, and their tongue then sticks to the insect, and they pull it into their mouth. It's very funny to see. You have to be very patient to see it too. It doesn't happen all the time. Now that's how the chameleons catch their food and what they eat. Now our Bailey's school. Hello to all of you from Bailey's. You asked what my favorite animal is. My favorite is a honey badger, a beautiful little honey badger. Now, they do actually come out at night, and I've seen honey badger on Safari Live before, but they're quite shy little animals. And let me see if I can find you a picture of one quickly. Let me just quickly find you a picture, show you a honey badger, my favorite animal. And then the other favorite animal of mine is a elephant. Now I'm sure you all know what an elephant looks like. That's my other favorite animal. But have a look at this cute little honey badger. There it is. Look at that. That's a honey badger. Some of you might be thinking it looks almost like a skunk with the white on the back and the black down the body, but it's not. Not a skunk at all. Just a badger, but very, very interesting little animal. And they're quite ferocious, very tough. They're not scared of anything. That's one of the reasons why I love the honey badger. Sharp claws, you see that? They can dig deep holes and look for food. And they'll eat insects and reptiles, so like snakes and stuff, and they will also eat honey, and that's why they get the name honey badger. So they'll look for beehives and then dig open the beehive and get to the honey. Wonderful, wonderful little animals. So you never know. We might see one, because they do come out at night. But they are very shy. Even though they're not afraid of anything, they are still quite shy, and we don't see them very often. That's my favorite animal. Now, Ellie's still searching for chameleons. I hope she has some luck. Let's go and help her a little bit.
Thank you, Byron. I do think that we need some help, because we haven't managed to find a chameleon yet. I think they're all hiding. And, well, as you can imagine, chameleons hide very well, so it makes it a bit harder to find them. But I think on this chameleon challenge for the evening, hopefully we'll be able to find one. And if not, pretty much anything else will be wonderful. Let's see. I'm hoping maybe we'll find a leopard on this road. You're wondering what we do when a wild animal comes up to us. Well, the most important thing is not to stand up. So you stay seated in the car, because a lot of the times you can imagine you want to jump up and start taking a photo or looking if you can't see properly, but that is the worst thing that you can do, so we try not to do that ever. So if you stay seated, then the animals are very happy to be around us, and then of course you also can't scream, because if you start screaming, then the animals also get a bit of a fright and they can run away, and then we won't be able to see them. So as long as you stay pretty much in the same position that you were in when the animal found you, then that's pretty much it. You don't have to really walk away or drive away from them or be scared, because a lot of them are very used to us being around in their environment. Chameleon? No, not a chameleon. Maria, you're wondering if I've been doing this for a very long time. Well, I have been doing it for 5 years, and I enjoy it very much. I mean, look how cool my job is. I'm looking for chameleons in the middle of the night. How many people are lucky to say that? But I know many people that have been doing it for a very, very long time. James? Okay, seems like Byron managed to find an owl, so let's go over to him and see which one it is.
Look at this, everyone, a beautiful little owl. How wonderful. Now this is called a pearl-spotted owl. Look at those beautiful yellow eyes, and you see at the back of its head. Oh, there it goes. Oh, hang on, we still got it. There he's sitting. He's sitting on the branch over there. There he is. Lovely. It's such a nice view of it. Now you see on the back of its head it's got two very dark spots, and they almost look like owls. Sorry, they look like eyes. I'm sorry everyone, of course it's an owl, but they look like eyes at the back of its head. And there it goes, off it goes. Oh, wonderful, just flew away. Wasn't that lovely? A beautiful little pearl-spotted owl. Got those little white spots all over the body, those two black marks on the back of its head that look like eyes, and I think the reason for that is possibly to prevent animals from trying to attack it. So if they see these two big eyes, they think they've been seen, so then they probably try and avoid attacking that little bird. And then obviously the front eyes, so it looks like it's got eyes in the back of its head so it can see if there's any danger, but it's purely there to maybe stop other birds from hunting that little owl. But wasn't that cute? Now that owl is small. It's about the size of my hand. That's as big as it gets. Very, very small. So nice that we could find one of those for you. I'm very happy. Let's see what else we can find. Now, Johnny, those little owls will eat anything from little birds, insects, little reptiles, maybe like even the chameleons that we're looking for. Those little owls could possibly eat them. But the larger owls, so we do get big owls here, they will catch little rodents like mice or rats that run around in the grass. That's what they would catch around here. But those little ones feed on smaller food, like little lizards or little birds, maybe, if they can catch them. Alright, well, Ellie's still having a look out for chameleons, so let's see how her search is going.
We're not doing too well. They're being shy. I think, well, we still have a little while to go, so hopefully in the next few minutes. We have seen, however, a little scrub hare that is an animal that looks very much like a bunny, but is not quite a bunny. So it's got big ears like a bunny, and it's grey like a bunny, but it's a different species of animal altogether. So hopefully we'll be able to see one running on the road, and then you guys will be able to have a bit of a look and see what they look like. But I'm saying that they're a bit different from a bunny because they are nocturnal animals, which means that they come out and they start moving during the night rather than during the day like a bunny or a rabbit would do. And they don't live underground, or they don't have their houses underneath the ground like the rabbits do, but they actually stay on top. Sometimes they go into a very thick bush, or in a tree that, or well, not a tree, but a bush that's got a lot of thorns and spines, just to protect themselves. And normally leopards like them quite a lot, but I think not even the scrub hares now. Okay, Byron found another nocturnal creature. He's having all the luck. Let's go, let's go.
Now that's a little bush baby. Look, everyone, right in the middle of the screen. It's jumping up the tree. Where did he go? There he is. He's still there. He's climbing slowly. Wait, we'll see him shortly. This is called a bush baby. Now they're part of the primate family. Oh wow, there he goes. I've still got him there. He's still around there. There he is. Look at that. Amazing jumpers. Now very, very shy little animals. And you can just see the head moving. There he goes. There he is. Watch, he's going to jump again. Wonderful. Now that's called a bush baby. A small little primates are related to monkeys, distant relative of monkeys. And they come out at night and feed on insects and also the sap of the trees, the sweet sap that is excreted by the trees. That's a lovely view of him. Look at that. Oh, well done, Fergus. Getting him on camera. Look at how easily it moves through the tree. Oh, isn't that great? And they're very, very cute. Very, very cute little bush baby. It's just sitting there now. Let's see if it moves. Now they start waking up around this time of the night. They'll move around, look for food. And then what they do is they'll go and sleep during the day again. Yeah, I'm so glad we got to show you an owl and a bush baby. So these are the types of nocturnal animals. So the animals that we see at night. These are the types of ones that we sometimes see, but it's difficult to find them. Not always easy. You can imagine they're so small and they jump around, but luckily we kind of know what to look for. It's never a guarantee. It's still just sitting there. There he moves. He's moving. Hiding from us a little bit. They're so cute. Wonderful to see the bush baby. I wonder if he's going to move for us again. He was out in the open earlier, but now he's hiding behind some branches. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, let's see if he jumps again. Keep watching him. There he is. See, now they've got very, very big eyes. And the reason for that is because they come out at night, they need those big eyes to see properly. So those very big eyes help them see at night. And that's why the bush baby's got those big eyes. There he goes, looking at us. Oh, wow, there he is. You can see him nice and clearly now. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is lovely. This is really, really great. He might jump. Now, they can jump very far. For their size, they're brilliant long jumpers. They can jump really, really far. There it goes. Oh, there it is, there it is. Bree or Brew. I saw your comment the other day. You said maybe you should change your name to Brew from Bree. There it is. Look at that jumping. You say, I'm the bush baby whisperer. I've just been lucky, I guess. Look at that. That is such a lovely sighting of one. I think why don't we leave this little bush baby now to continue his evening. Take the spotlight off him a little bit. We're not really disturbing him, but again, just being sensitive. If they're moving around, jumping around. Look how it moves, so agile. Incredible. But like I say, I think we'll leave him to carry on his evening activities. There he just jumped away there. There we go. I think wasn't that great? Hey? Lovely. Fantastic. Fergs, well done. Well done on following that bush baby. It's difficult to follow them, never mind with a camera. Oh, now Ellie's still trying desperately to find you a chameleon. Come on, Ellie. Let's see how it's going.
Well, I did find a bush baby, Byron. Alright, it's just jumping in between the trees over there, and it's hard to try and find it, so I'm hoping... it keeps jumping to the back. So, maybe we should just focus on bush babies now. Alright, let's see if it starts jumping around again. It's definitely in this quarry, so I was super excited to see a bush baby again. Oh, it's at the bottom of the tree. I can just see the eyes every now and again, so hopefully it'll start moving and jumping around, because it's a bit hard to try and spot it. And I just keep getting glimpses of it. Come on, bush baby. I think maybe the bush baby needs the Byron. I think a bit to here. I think that's where I last saw it jumping. It's jumped. Some of the leaves were moving, so I'm sure it was jumping in there. Naughty bush baby. Alright. Seems like Byron has also lost his bush baby, so let's go over to him. See, he's got the magic spotlight. Hopefully he will be able to find us a new one.
Oh, I don't know, Ellie. I don't know. We'll try, but we've had a lovely day. Thank you to everybody who's watching, and thank you very much to the schools. I hope you enjoyed your short time with us on Safari Live, and you got to see some interesting little animals just before you leave us. It's always great to have you and lovely to have your questions, so thank you very much. And thank you to all our regular viewers for all their questions and comments. It was a lovely day. I had a great afternoon at the dam. Fergs, did you enjoy that?
I had a great afternoon.
Yeah, it was lovely. Very, very nice. Now, also, big thank you to James up in the Mara. He was back. Great to have James back as always with his new hat. And thank you to Ali and Seb. They were also helping us look for animals. And thank you to Final Control, to Megan and Chantel. But we will see you all again on the Sunrise Safari tomorrow morning. It's going to be Tristan and Ali. I'm not sure who's going to be in the Mara. But goodbye everyone, have a wonderful day. We'll see you all soon. Bye.